12. Garrett Pals. After receiving a phone call in May of 2023 from her son's school about an alleged assault by a teacher, a mother from Toledo, Ohio was left feeling unsure of whether she could trust the people who were responsible for her child's safety during the day. Marcela Graciana told local station WTVG that she was at work when she was informed that 29-year-old Garrett Pals was accused of throwing her son across the classroom. According to her understanding of the events, the teacher told the boy to sit down. He sat on the desk, at which point Pals allegedly grabbed him by the shoulders and threw him, causing the student to hit his head and face on the floor and leaving him with a small gash above his eye. Court documents state that other students had to be removed from the classroom while staff members cleaned up blood. Graciana was especially troubled by the fact that Pals works with students with mental issues. She said she doesn't think he should be allowed to work with kids ever again. The teacher, who's licensed as an intervention specialist for K-12 students, was charged with 1 count of assault and 1 count of safe school assault. He pleaded not guilty and is on paid leave pending the outcome of the case. The school district declined WTVG's request for comment, citing the ongoing nature of the case. As a working single mother of 5, Graciana said she's incapable of homeschooling her kids, but that she's uncomfortable with sending them to public school at this point. She's now at an impasse while she looks into her legal options and weighs the potential schooling choices for her children. 11. Brandy Taylor. In December 2017, a special education teacher from Albertville, Missouri, named Brandy Taylor was put on administrative leave amid allegations of assault against a student. According to the complaint, the 38-year-old hit and punched a student. She was also accused of biting him in the face and beating him with a belt. In the report, a police officer noted seeing welts on the victim's leg and back, bruising on his thighs, and marks and redness on his face and around his eyes. It wasn't Taylor's first time being accused of violence. In 2016, she was arrested on domestic violence charges for allegedly pepper spraying her husband at the time. According to police, Taylor maced her partner in the eyes at an amusement park during an argument about their child. Taylor's domestic violence case was still unresolved when she was convicted of third-degree assault for the school-related incident. She was sentenced to 30 days in jail. 10. Tiffany Langford. In a disturbing video that took the internet by storm in November 2019, a substitute teacher could be seen punching a student, throwing her to the ground, and stomping on her at Lemon High School in Kyle, Texas. The teacher, who was identified by law enforcement as 32-year-old Tiffany Langford, was promptly fired and charged with felony aggravated assault by a public servant. School spokesperson Tim Savoy told the New York Times that the attack happened during a Spanish class towards the end of the school day, and that several students left the classroom to alert staff members to the situation. Savoy was unsure what led to the altercation, but he confirmed that Langford had filled in for the district's teachers 18 times over a roughly 3-month period. The student was checked out at a hospital and sent home. She remained under ongoing medical care in the months following the incident. She reportedly suffered from a brain injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, and clinical depression. In early 2020, her lawyer told local station KVUE that the team will require specialized care for the foreseeable future. Shortly after the assault, the student spoke with the news outlet. She said that Langford attacked her after they exchanged words. The substitute teacher had been accused of targeting a different student just 2 months earlier, prompting the district to change its policies. In a statement, a spokesperson said that the district would now require a centralized registry of complaints against substitute teachers, regardless of severity. According to records, the case against Langford is set to go to trial in July 2023. 9. Chris Hardy. A teacher at an upscale private school in Sydney, Australia, is facing allegations of simple assault after he allegedly attacked the son of a former National Rugby League star in May of 2023. According to police, who investigated after receiving a complaint from the student's father, 64-year-old Chris Hardy allegedly yanked on the boy's uniform while he drank from the water fountain. The teacher is also accused of holding the teen against the wall while telling him that the fountain is only meant for filling water bottles. Footage of the incident was widely circulated among students and parents, including the victim's father, who told Daily Mail Australia that he felt the school handled the matter poorly. He claimed that his emails to the school went unanswered and that he didn't receive timely updates on the progress of the situation. The disgruntled dad said that the whole misunderstanding could have been solved with a handshake, but that his son was still waiting for an apology. A school spokesperson declined to comment amid the ongoing case. 8. Damien Smith. While celebrating the end of the wrestling season in 2023, a group of wrestlers from Western High School in Shively, Kentucky, took some light-hearted digs at each other and staff members, including their coach, Damien Smith. But the educator, who also works as a history teacher, apparently didn't take too kindly to the jokes. He now stands accused of assaulting a student. The alleged victim, Aniston Curry, told local ABC affiliate WHAS-11 that Smith slammed him against a table, cussed and yelled in his face, and slapped him repeatedly to the ground while holding onto his collar. The teen said he initially thought the coach was joking, but was soon begging and pleading for someone to help him. Smith was reassigned to a non-classroom position while he faces a misdemeanor assault charge following an investigation. Curry said that he doesn't think the teacher should be allowed to work with kids since part of their job is to ensure children's safety. It's a valid point, but like any person who finds themselves in the throes of the American justice system, Smith remains innocent until proven guilty. In the meantime, Curry finished out his school year online and has made plans to switch to another school come fall. 7. Shirley Thorne. A special education teacher from Port Huron, Michigan, was so appalled by her own behavior against a student that she ended up apologizing in court. The case began in December 2015 when 59-year-old Shirley Thorne was charged with 2 counts of assault and battery for an incident that happened 2 months earlier. According to reports obtained by the Times-Herald, bus drivers, assistants, and other staff members described the teacher of 36 years as being old school and having a no-nonsense approach to how she handled students. In September 2015, the school district contacted the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department and asked them to investigate allegations of abuse in Thorne's classroom. The request came a year after a previous investigation found insufficient evidence to charge Thorne with any crimes. 2 paraprofessionals told investigators about incidents that they believe showed inappropriate verbal and physical conduct towards students. According to a police report, Thorne allegedly used her feet to move or restrain students, pulled a student out of the bathroom before he was finished getting dressed, punished another student by splashing water in her face, and stepped on uncooperative students' fingers. The paraprofessionals also expressed concern over some unexplained welts and markings they observed on students' arms and heads, and district bus drivers reported seeing Thorne dragging a student across the schoolyard when they refused to get off the ground. Using this information, the sheriff's office obtained a warrant to install cameras in Thorne's classroom. Law enforcement claimed to observe several instances of physical interactions with students, including stepping on one student's hand, stepping on another student's leg or foot, stepping on yet another pupil's fingers and kneeing him in the head, and more. In one alleged instance, the elderly teacher was seen pushing a student onto a rug and then stepping on his leg or knee, causing him to scream out in pain. Another report noted video evidence of Thorne pulling a student into her classroom, dropping him and kicking him twice in the head and neck area. Thorne initially denied kicking the child, adamantly claiming that her foot never left the ground during the incident. She ultimately pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault and battery and was sentenced to 93 days in jail, with 73 days suspended. At her sentencing, she said she was shocked by her behavior in the video she watched of herself dropping and kicking a student. She said she lost her patience and let her frustrations get the best of her, and that she should have never allowed herself to reach that point. Thorne also acknowledged that parents' outrage toward her was justified, and she asked for forgiveness, insisting that she's not the type of person depicted in the media. Unfortunately for Thorne, the evidence was caught on camera, and while she couldn't undo her actions, it seemed like a stretch to blame the media for causing her to be seen in a negative light. 6. Mary Catherine Long. In early March 2023, a teacher in York, South Carolina was accused of committing third-degree assault and battery against a student at her workplace. According to a police report, 2 students were play-slapping each other while their class lined up. Their teacher, Mary Catherine Long, asked them to stop, but they didn't listen. Long allegedly slapped one of the students across the cheek with the back of her hand and asked, "How would you like it if someone slapped you?" At least one student claimed to have witnessed the incident. After turning herself into authorities, Long was released on her own recognizance pending the outcome of her criminal case. She was initially placed on administrative leave from her job and was no longer employed with the school district within days of the alleged altercation. Some news reports claim that she was fired, while others declined to speculate on whether or not she left the job voluntarily. 5. Dennis Cooper. A Union County, South Carolina high school teacher's attempts to break up a party during the summer of 2022 led to allegations of assault against a recent graduate. According to a police report, the 18-year-old victim told a responding sheriff's deputy that 54-year-old Dennis Cooper had hit him in the face for no reason. Cooper and a neighbor were reportedly trying to disperse the disruptive gathering when the altercation occurred. The incident report stated that the neighbor told law enforcement that the victim was verbally aggressive and bumped into Cooper. He confirmed that Cooper struck the teen. The responding deputy noted that the neighbor seemed intoxicated during their conversation. He also wrote that he saw no marks on the victim, but he included a photo in the report. Authorities charged the teacher with third-degree assault and battery, and he was put on administrative leave pending the outcome of the case. The current status of the case is unclear. 4. Gabriel Hernandez. In April 2023, a special needs teacher in Horry County, South Carolina, was accused of taking discipline too far during a student's behavioral episode. According to a police report, Gabriel Hernandez put the student in an inappropriate hold and dragged him across the classroom by his arms. He then allegedly pinned the student to the ground for 30 seconds while putting all his weight on the young man's legs. An arrest warrant states that Hernandez aggressively picked the victim up off the floor and slammed him down in his chair. A witness reportedly told police that a teacher's aide tried to intervene by yelling at Hernandez to stop and to let go of the student. After learning about the incident from police, the student's parents chose to press charges. Hernandez was placed on administrative leave and arrested on a misdemeanor charge of cruelty to children. He resigned from his job a few days later. News reports revealed that according to the teacher's personnel file, this was the second time he was put on leave for his alleged treatment toward a student. The first incident happened in November 2022 amid allegations of unprofessional conduct. Hernandez was allowed to return to work after 18 days, but was strictly cautioned in a letter about how his alleged conduct could jeopardize his employment and would not be tolerated moving forward. Nicole Perez, the mother of the child involved in the first incident, told the Sun News that Hernandez had allegedly stepped on her autistic son's hand on purpose. She said that the experience left her son traumatized and that the family planned to move out of state because they feared for the boy's safety. Sadly, Hernandez is the third teacher from the district to be accused of abusing students during the 2022-23 school year. His criminal case is ongoing. 3. Joshua Kahn. A disagreement over a computer tablet led to a physical confrontation and ended with assault charges against a New York City school teacher in Brooklyn's Park Slope neighborhood. According to a criminal complaint, a teenage girl was trying to get a tablet when 59-year-old Joshua Kahn became irate and shoved her 6 to 8 times, causing her to fall and hit her back against a bookshelf. The report further states that Kahn helped the girl stand up and then shoved her out of the classroom. Police said that the student suffered from bruises and back pain resulting from the altercation. Kahn was charged with assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and harassment. He pleaded not guilty and is due back in court in August of 2023, and the school district has reassigned him to a non-teaching role pending the outcome of the case. The nature of the argument that led to the incident remains unclear. 2. Patricia Graham. A 71-year-old high school teacher in Lenoir County, North Carolina, was accused of assault in March 2023 after video surfaced of her striking a student with what appears to be an extension cord. In the footage, a woman later identified as Patricia Graham could be seen hitting the student at least twice as he held his arm out in a defensive fashion. The teacher then ordered the teen to sit down. Following an investigation, law enforcement announced its intentions to charge Graham with simple assault. Sheriff Jackie Rogers described the video as deeply disturbing and commended her staff members for taking proper action. A student of the school named Eli Day told local station WITN that he heard Graham struck another student for sleeping during class. He said that opinions on whether or not the teacher should be fired were divided among the student body, with some calling for her to lose her job while others saying that the student deserved it. Graham worked for the district for 37 years before retiring in 2013. She returned the following year part-time, but resigned from her position following the assault allegations. As some of the cases on today's list show, there's a difference between being old school and crossing the line with discipline. 1. Michael Hazinski. In a disturbing video that surfaced in news reports in early 2022, a high school social studies teacher could be seen chasing after and hitting a student in the hallway of a high school in Elkhart, Indiana. 61-year-old Michael Hazinski was accused of grabbing the student by the backpack, pointing a finger in his face, and then hitting him, causing his head to hit a wall. The footage showed the student holding his head with one hand as the teacher grabbed his arm and began pulling him down the hallway, causing him to fall on the floor. At that point, another staff member emerged and Hazinski walked away. Afterward, the student complained of throbbing head pain. Hazinski was a 40-year veteran of the school district and had been named Teacher of the Year in 2020. The allegations against him came just months before his planned retirement. He was charged with misdemeanor battery and granted early retirement while his case worked its way through the court system. By granting Hazinski early retirement rather than firing him, the district enabled him to collect his pension. The decision ignited deeply divided debates within the community over whether he deserved the leniency. A few months after the arrest, Hazinski took a deal and pleaded guilty to the charge in exchange for 1 year of probation. He was also required to ask for permission to leave the county and to complete an anger management evaluation and any required follow-up. Hazinski's defense attorney, Kyla Cristofano, said that her client was deeply remorseful for his actions and described the incident as very out of character. But as prosecutors pointed out, his behavior was unacceptable under any and all circumstances, and the court agreed. Thanks for watching. Hypothetically speaking, which do you think is worse? A school district with impressively high grades and a reputation for strictness that borders along the lines of abuse, or a school district with struggling academic marks and staff members who genuinely seem to care and act in their students' best interests? Let us know in the comments below and remember to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.